Hi everyone, I'm Tori Tomn. I'm a dark fantasy author of a lot of twisted stories. My first debut novel, The Death of Us, is out for a few months now, and my latest release is already out. It's Saint's Confession, and it's a story of a hunter and a monster. It's a forbidden love, witty banter, hate to love, everything you dark fantasy readers love. So be sure to check it out. I'm here as well from Vellichor team, and she sent me a few interesting questions I'm sure you'd love to hear. And also subscribe to this channel to hear more on the talk show episodes that will be out soon. So let's start with questions. The first one is, what is my favorite book from my childhood? And it's a really interesting and tricky question because I really love books and I loved them as a child, and I loved fairy tales, and I think the most memorable one was Snow White. So yeah, I do remember reading that one and memorizing it just so many times. Like, I loved it. Second question, which fictional man would I want as my all-time MMC in real life? Also a tricky question because there are so many great men in book talk that it's impossible to choose between them. But if I had to choose, I'd say Aaron Werner. It's such a basic question, yeah, such a basic answer, I mean, whatever, but it's just like a really true one, because in real life I wouldn't want some psychopath or killer. Like, well, okay, Aaron is a killer as well and a bit psychotic, but he's forgiven because he's Aaron Werner. So we'll just stick to this answer. Then we have the next question, which is, what inspired me to write the story? So it actually happened a few years ago when I didn't even know that I would be writing. So I was a huge The Vampire Diaries fan, and after finishing the show I watched The Legacy, which is basically about the legacy of the main characters, and I was truly disappointed that they didn't show us Stephanie, Salvatore, Damon and Elena's daughter. And I just imagine her being a badass woman after like taking after all of the badass women from her family, and I always thought that she would be with some badass monster with like who just comes to the town as a new danger, and she just like, I loved the idea, but then I just quitted the idea. But last year it actually returned to me when I was on a writing break from The Death of Us. So I started writing something new, and that's how the story came to life. The next question, what is a particular scene I want my readers not to read from my book or watch out of the scene? There are a few of them actually there, like there is a scene with a knife play, so be really careful with that one if you are like easily triggered, and even more so with a thing where there is like mass murder or cannibalism, because not between the main character, of course, they're not cannibals, but there is a thing there that you really need to be watching out, so just be careful. And the last question, which was supposed to be about Jace, but I just decided that I'm going to switch it to Stephanie, the main female lead, the main female character, because we always talk about the MMCs, but let's normalize making the female character the center of the story and not her love interest, because it's actually about her struggles, her life experience and her pain. So what inspired Stephanie's character? I think it's not just, I didn't even get inspired to write her, I just knew who she was supposed to be all the way before I even started writing the book. I knew that she would be a strong badass woman who goes around her day with daggers in her heels and with murderous look on her face, but she's a really sweet person to those whom she loves, and she's like morally gray with questionable choices and thoughts, but she's still a good human being and a really really strong woman who goes through human struggles as well as supernatural ones. So it's just a reminder to every woman that we're so much stronger than we actually think we are, and we are not even scared of real monsters or imaginary ones. And I just really wanted to show us that we are stronger than sometimes even we think. So yeah, that was the last question. So I'm just going to say bye for now, and if you want to hear more, come to watch the book talk show, and bye bye.